poem, apart from other poems, she has expressed her desire to die because she is now fed up from her long efforts to come to terms with her life. And apart from those efforts, she is now exhausted because she has tried a lot to be good in the company of her husband, and then tried to find comfort in the company of other men also, but she has found herself to be cheated from all. The solace or the comfort which she was searching for, she could not get from anyone in her life. That's why in the end she has this urge in herself. She wants to commit suicide, and in this poem particularly, the invitation is being given by the sea. She wants to drown herself by jumping into the waters of the sea, and indirectly the sea is acting like her inner conscience, which exhorts her or incites her to come in its waves. The sea is, in other words, Kamala Das's inner conscience, which again and again prompts her to commit suicide. And besides committing suicide quickly or all at once, she gives another thought to her opinion. She gives another thought to her desire. She wants that she could continue living that way also in which she was doing earlier, because she thinks that her life might be led in an easy way, in that manner which she had desired for long. She might settle terms with her husband, and she might get solace or comfort from other people, understanding from other people. So she is in a dilemma. The poet protagonist is in a dilemma whether to go in the shelter of sea, or whether to wait for the comfortable life which she had expected from her husband or from other men in this world. So let us read this poem and find what the poet wants to convey through these lines. Yes, the poet says, I have a man's fist in my head today, clenching, unclenching. I have got all the Sunday evening. And she says that the lover sometimes wants to provide her comfort, and sometimes the mood of that person is favorable, and clenching and unclenching here will mean that the person, the lover or her husband, becomes favorable towards her sometimes, and sometimes she finds him to be indifferent. So she is also not confirmed, or she is also not satisfied that the person with whose company she is there on that evening is sincere towards her or not. This is the dilemma of the poet, that first of all she finds herself in the company of a person, but even then, besides being in the company, she is not finding that person to be totally, you can say, totally devoted to her. She finds that person sometimes unclenching. Unclenching means sometimes that person is not working favorably towards her. His affection or his love is not 100% towards her, as she had desired from her husband or from her lover or from the people with whom she meets. So first of all, she says that in the beginning of the poem, she says that she is having the company of another person with herself. Then her inner conscience comes, because when she finds that person to be non-sincere or uncooperative, then the desire to kill herself, the desire to kill herself emerges in her heart, and she wishes to drown herself, and this sea is nothing else but her own inner conscience. The poetess finds her conscience says her to commit suicide and end her gloomy and disappointed life by jumping into the sea. So, the sea, this poem is written in the dialogue form. First of all, we have the dialogues of the poetess when she speaks to the sea as if she is just conversing directly with the sea. But this sea is her own thoughts. She is not sitting near any sea or waves or water. She only decides that she would commit suicide by jumping in the sea, and that sea is her own thoughts, how she consoles herself, how she makes up her mind of committing suicide. That desire, that urge comes to her again and again that she should end her life in this manner. But when she decides to end her life, at the same time, she has other thoughts also that she should continue living her life as she is quite young and she can have the company of people and she can find when she is alive, she would be able to find that comfort or that affection or that understanding from anyone whom she meets. This slight expectation is there in her mind that she wishes that she has this expectation that one day someone will be there who would understand her feelings and emotions. So, in the first lines, it is the dialogue of the poetess herself. She is speaking to the sea that that day on the Sunday evening, she is there with that person whom she likes or whom she expects to fulfill her desires. But in the next lines, we have that her lover is besides her. He is there. He has come to her. He came to me in between long conferences. In between means when the poetess was discussing with the sea, when she was conversing with the sea, then she says that meanwhile that lover comes to her house and long conferences, and both of them do long chats together. Both of them communicate with each other for long. A fish coming for air, and she is now describing, this is a metaphor, she is giving this is an image also. She is telling us or she is telling the sea that that lover is now sitting with her like that fish who comes out of the water for having fresh air for a little while. She says that as fish jump out of the sea and again go back in the waters, in the tides or waves, in the same way, that lover has also come for some time in her life and he will also go after spending time with her. A fish coming up for air and was warm in my arms and inarticulate. She says that that fish is having, as that fish has good experience of air, as you might have watched dolphins. These dolphins jump out from the sea and again they, after 1 or 2 or 5, 6 seconds, they again drown themselves in the waters. In the same way, she says that her lover is experiencing her company very affectionately. Was warm in my arms and inarticulate. Inarticulate means though he is not speaking anything, though he is not describing his plans with her, the lover. Even then, even after being inarticulate or inexpressive, he is there with her and she is satisfied in having his company besides her. So, till inarticulate, we have the dialogue of the lady, of the poetess. Then there are 3 dots. It means the conversation continues. Says, I'm reading the 5 lines. And in me, cries the sea. Think of yourself lying on a funeral pyre with a burning head. Just think, bathe cool, stretch your limbs on cool secret sands, pillow your head on anemones. What does the sea says? The sea says, and in me. Cries the sea. Cries means the sea urges. The sea speaks repeatedly to her to come and end herself and her life in its lap. on its waves. Think of yourself lying on a funeral pyre, and the sea says to the poetess that she should imagine that when she dies, she will lie on a funeral pyre with a burning head, and her body, her head, all of those would be burning in wood. Whenever a Hindu person dies, he or she is given funeral. He or she is cremated by in fire in Hinduism, and so this she is telling that lady that her end is only by burning her dead body in the fire of the wood. So he says that her to bathe cool, and if she drowns herself in the waters, in the waves, she will be feeling coolness rather than the heat of the woods, heat of the fire. He says, the sea says to that lady, bathe cool, stretch your limbs on cool secret sands. He gives her option to come on his sands, which are quite cool and quite cozy. He says to that poetess to stretch your body parts, to stretch your arms and legs on cool secret sands. Secret means nobody will see her, nobody will see her dying, as all persons would be attending her funeral. In when she would drown herself in the sea, no one would be looking at her, and no one will be disturbing her. Pillow your head on the anemones. Anemones are flowers of multicolors, and when the sea says that when